In this video, I want to do an overview of the Microsoft Word 2013 program. So let me go ahead and start that, and I have it pinned to my start menu here, or my start screen rather. And once again, we're just taking a quick peek at the interface and all that. So generally speaking, when you first launch it, it will come up where you can create a blank document, or you can pick from different templates. If you've had files open recently, you can click those, or if you just want to open something else, you can hit open other documents and you can go and do that. I'm going to choose a blank document. And we'll just take, like I said, we'll take a quick peek at what's going on here. So at the very top here, we have this little quick access toolbar here, which you can add more things to this, or you can take things away from it. You can click right here and you can see where this is where you can add things, more common things, pretty quick. So if you want to add spell check there, you can click on that. Spell check will show up. If you want to remove that because you don't like it, you can just click it again and it goes away. You can add things that aren't in this list by right clicking them on the ribbon area in the groups. You can say add to quick access toolbar. So if you do that thing all the time, there you go, which is kind of cool. And it doesn't show up on this list, but you can right click it here and you can remove it as well. Alright, so that's your quick access toolbar. Now below that you have this thing called the ribbon, which was introduced back in 2007. The ribbon has different tabs for different categories of things that you can do. It's logically organized, so you have file, home, insert, design, page layout, references, mailings, review, and view. And you will also have some tabs that pop up that are based on context. If you click on a picture or click on a shape, you will see another tab that pops up that's unique to that object. And you'll see that as you work through lessons. And so as you click on different tabs, you're going to see different groups of items under different categories here. Let me just go back to home. So under home you have a group called clipboard, one called font, one called paragraph, one called styles, one called editing. Get familiar with the groups under each tab, especially the ones that you're going to use a lot. Okay? So these groups are basically like glorified toolbars that are categorized by their tabs. There's a special blue tab on the far left called File. When you click on this, it brings up the view where you can open and save and print, share, export, close, all that good stuff. This is known as the Backstage view. So when you read through your text and it tells you to go to the Backstage view, you basically click on the File button on the ribbon and you're there. Why they call it the Backstage view, I'm not real sure. I guess it's because it's behind the scenes. I think it's kind of a goofy name, but it is what it is. Okay. So you do need to familiarize yourself with the tabs, which are basically categories, and the groups within each one of these tab categories. Okay. You have your main work area, obviously, where you do your document. If your rulers are not turned on, they probably aren't by default. You can turn them on by going to View and clicking on ruler, and if I turn it off, you'll see they're not there. I like to leave those on. I find them to be useful. So this is your main area. This is where you do all the work. The rulers do have uses, especially this top one, but that's another story for another day. And at the very bottom you have your status bar, which tells you what page you're on, how many words you have. This is where you can switch views. You have like a read mode, which is I believe new to 2013. This is the typical print layout that you normally work in, and this is a web layout, which I think is sort of goofy. And then you have the ability to zoom by dragging the slider, or by doing minus and plus to zoom in and zoom out. You can also click the 100% to get a little dialog box that pops up. Okay, and I kind of just glanced over it or didn't mention it all. The top bar here is called the title bar. It's the title bar on all windows basically. It tells you the name of the document, what program you're using, and you do have the ability right here to minimize, go full screen, or basically it's a toggle. Let me resize this a little bit. Alright, so if you're working in a window that's not full screen, this will go full screen, or it'll go back down to the window mode. The X here obviously is to close the program down. This is to minimize it, and it's still running. You can kind of see it there on the taskbar. Click it brings it back. Now this deals with collapsing the ribbon. Like if you click that and say auto hide ribbon, that gives you more real estate to work with, and you have to kind of click up here to expose it. I don't know if that's really the best way to work, quite honestly. There's also one that just says show tabs, which basically does not show you any of the groups. If you want to see what's under the groups, you click on it, you do your thing, click back, and it goes away. You can kind of see that the groups hide. Or if you really want to show it all the time, you say show tabs in commands. And that's where you see it all the time. Another way to quickly do that is to double click any one of the tabs. It'll collapse it. And a single click will expose it. Do what you want to do. Go back to your document. It goes away again. If you want to expose and keep the commands again, just double click it. And they're there permanently again. So you can do double clicks on tabs to do the same thing as show tabs or show tabs as commands. I would probably just double click the tab and not fool with this little menu here. And I believe this one here is probably help. Yep. So that's your basic rundown of the interface of Word. Okay. And in videos that follow, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how do we use Word. That will be coming up soon.